said that you were sure it was the 24th because that was the Sunday and you came home from church?
Chow came back on the 24th.
Right.
24th was a Saturday.
It was not. 24th was a Friday.
He was supposed to come back on the 23rd, and he didn't. He came back on the 24th, Friday. And I noticed the tree the Sunday.
The 26th. So that's consistent with what they've said, which was they rented the chainsaw on the 26th. Okay, so how long have you owned this property?
1 year.
How have you never interacted with them?
I never saw anyone.
But you were living there that whole time?
A year.
And the branches that we're talking about, the tree trunks, they were growing in your yard.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you really didn't need permission to take them down. You just wanted to give them the heads up.
Yes, yeah. So like, you know, if I see the plaintiff, I could, you know, talk. Because the time when I keep looking for the plaintiff, I said, you know what, maybe she might ask question why this is on my backyard.
When were you served with the lawsuit?
Maybe 22 days. approximately.
22 days?
Yes.
22 days, you left them there.
Yeah.
Could you see how she might think they have no intention to take these branches away?
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Like she said, I should send a note. Yes, I agree with this. I did not do this because I said, if I see, I'm going to act, you know.
Okay. I have no more questions.
Are you still willing to remove the branches? If
Yes,
you have
yes,
permission?
of course. Yes, please.
That's what we want.
I just want to make one more point.
One last word.
Okay, so this tree, they said they spent 2 hours in cutting the other one. Now this one, apparently somebody was using a chainsaw to cut this. Now this is dangerous
What
now.
page is that? I think that's 11. Yeah.
Where you can see the chainsaw mark in the tree. So this can be blown down. The kids still play in the yard. And if they're going to take up the tree in my yard, they need to do something about this because this is now dangerous.
Why did
Yeah,
you put two slices? I'm going to put up the picture she's talking about. Now, you see there's what she's talking about? There are two
Yeah, this one, yeah.
horizontal slices in that tree. Why did you do that and leave it in that fashion?
Yeah, because he really is a strong tree. And then my husband said, we're going to leave it for a company to finish because we want to remove the whole tree.
You started to cut it and
Yes.
realized this is way too big of a job.
Yeah,
I
definitely
need to
we're going
hire
to
someone
remove
do
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitively, we want the permission to.
Ms. Dillon, does your quote include taking care of that tree?
No, because it's on their property. It's not over on mine.
But you would
There-
have to
there it is.
access her property to cut it.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
it bend the whole, it's like the base of
I
my property
see.
and then
Okay.
it bend over.
So you agree. So even though the branches were on her property overhanging, you agree the trunk is on your property.
Yes.
But because of where the fence lines are, not the property lines, you actually can't have anyone cut that tree until she gives you permission to do so.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. We're going to excuse the parties while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you all.
This courtroom is now in recess.
Okay, so we have an issue, a problem that may still be remedied. On the one hand, it doesn't seem very neighborly to go right to the police when you see this problem rather than confronting your neighbors. But on the other side, how long are they going to wait? 22 days just letting those tree branches lie down there is a long time. It would give me the impression that they have no intention to take them out. I think it's just a terrible response to go right to the police.
Because this is not confrontational.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It feels to me like she failed to mitigate damages. She went out and got a tremendously expensive branch removal quote, right? Which clearly builds in for the fact that they've got to haul their big trucks down just to remove these branches when they're willing to do it for free. I'm torn on this one.
I'm inclined to give her to $26.50 to have them removed. They were the ones who created the problem. It's incumbent upon them to actually get permission or else just go and do it and get them removed.
I have a hard time making this decision on the basis that they did something wrong. I think the only way I could be persuaded to give her money is an election of remedies issue. Like if she wants to have professionals come, but I kind of feel like that's ridiculous.
And I feel like branches on your yard doesn't pose a danger. It's more of an inconvenience, right? Or an eyesore, so to speak. I'd give her the lower end of the estimate.
I'm on board with giving her the lower end of the estimate.
I'm
what- yeah.
comfortable giving
Yeah.
the lower end.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've reached a unanimous verdict.
All right.